You talked about growing up right next to Winston-Salem. When you and then being a third generation student, when you finally got to put on that jersey
Yeah.
and that helmet, and you were getting ready to come out the tunnel for that rivalry, probably got family, friends, obviously classmates, girlfriends. I mean, everyone's in the stands. What was that first feeling like? That first time you got to experience the rivalry that you grew up watching from the time you were born up until then?
Yeah, man. Man, this game, you gonna have so many experiences with this game, man. Um, Dog, when I got to Central, man, to just build this up, dog. When I got to Central, I was NCAA clearinghouse ineligible because of what happened my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Because of how bad I did, you know, you had to back in them days, you had to meet a GPA with the SAT score. You had to meet your GPA. So I ended up getting my GPA back to a reasonable place to get admitted into school, but I didn't have a balance.
Yeah.
So what became my true freshman year, which is my freshman year in the classroom, my freshman year would have been on the field. I had to sit it out. So the smart thing was, God rest the dead, my first coach in college, Coach Mose Rising, he just said, man, just take your red shirt. You just go ahead and take your red shirt. You ineligible? Just take your red shirt. So that's exactly what I did. I took my red shirt the year that I was NCAA clearinghouse ineligible, busted out 3.5, 3.7, came back and was able to play in practice in the spring, and got in the spring, man, and tried to show my way. You know what I mean? Shout out to Coach Kwame Dixon. Shout out to Coach Cabell, man, and all of these guys, man. But I started off, believe it or not, man, so that I could make the team. Man, I started off on the defensive side of the ball, Coach Fred. I played receiver my whole life, man. I had to get on the defense side of the ball and play DB. Shout out to Coach George, who's the DB coach at Shaw University. Man, Coach George was like, man, come on over here, come play DB for me. Come play corner. And so I came and played corner and enjoyed it. Got through the spring, got through the summer, and didn't get a camp invite because I didn't have a year that year. But coaches said, listen, man, long as you here, we're gonna let you do your thing. As long as you're here, we're gonna let you practice. You'll be around, and then everything will be able to work itself out. So, my sophomore year in the classroom, my redshirt freshman year on the field, the 2010 season, man, we played Winston-Salem State that year, man. And second game of the season, my mom was down, man. A lot of other family members was down, and dog, I just remember, there's a time period before the game where you get out there and you just, you get out there on the field before everybody else come out, before your whole team come out there, and you might be out there just catching passes on air with your quarterback. My quarterback at the time, who affectionately works for ESPN now, Jordan Reed, Jay Reed. Jay Reed had just transferred to us from Winston-Salem State. So, him and Charles Goodwin, all of those guys, man, they had just transferred to us from Winston-Salem State. And Reed, man, was out there. We was catching balls on air, man. And I don't know, bro. In the middle of me warming up, dog, and going through that, dog, it just hit me that I had arrived at my dream, man. That I had arrived in my dream. And man, it was out there, and then you go back in the locker room, you start putting on your shells, man. You might put on your helmet, you might put on your pants, and then you get out there. We do pregame stretch and all that good stuff, and then you go back in, and you make sure you wrapped up everything straight, and then you go back in, you put the whole thing on, you put your whole armor on, and that's battle time, man. And dog, when I got into the darn tunnel, man, nah, I just lost it, dog. I lost it. There's a picture of myself and my big brother, JR, who played linebacker at Central from Chapel Hill, man, who played at Central. Also, man, he was a guy who was a walk-on, man. I had to come on as a walk-on and earn my way back, man. Had some opportunity scholarship-wise, but I wanted to be at Central. So I walked on and we found a way to get it done, man. And man, when I ran through that tunnel, man, that year, I had number 49. So I wasn't playing on the offensive side of the ball. I had number 49. And man, I ran through the tunnel, dog. I sped out the tunnel. I was about full speed ahead. I sped out the tunnel. And man, dog, just seeing the whole freaking stadium, man, seeing OKR for the first time from this lens, in a rivalry game. I had done it the same thing the week prior because we played Johnson C. Smith. And actually had a chance to get in the game on special teams in that game, which was really cool. But just having the chance to run out and see the fans inside of OKR. Man, it was packed, man. I was seeing folks on the other side in the stands that I knew. Obviously, folks on our stands that was my classmates, the girls that, you know, man, who was ready to holler at you. You feel me? I'm on the sideline like, hey, you see what time it is? You know, so it was beautiful, man. And, you know, that season did not go great. But two things about that season that was absolutely beautiful is we did lose that game against Winston State. And we didn't know that. But at the time, and that was the last time we would end up playing that team, man, because they went back to Division II. That was the last time we ended up playing them, man. Until the guys had a chance to play when we renewed the contract with State 2 seasons ago. So, man, that was the last time we played, man. So I was on the team that played State the last time we lost to them. They ended up coming in the crib and beating us. But also in that season, we beat the school down the highway pretty handily that season. So I was good. Yeah, man, I was good.
This episode of the Coaches Lounge is also sponsored by DraftKings. Looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58? DraftKings Sportsbooks has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game this Sunday and turn just $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets, guys. 49ers 2-point favorite right now, 47.5 point over under going into Sunday, man. So get your bets in now. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code Bluebloods. That's Bluebloods. New customers can bet just $5 to get 200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code Bluebloods. The crown is yours. Remember, guys, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly in behalf on Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility, deposit restrictions, terms, conditions, responsible gaming resources. Let's get back to the show.
That was good.
I don't know if you can pick because, you know, it's kind of like every school usually has two rivals.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm about to say to this question.
Which rivalry do you get up for, or not just you, but just the fan base? Is it that school down the highway in North Carolina A&T, or is it the battle for 85 of Winston?
Man, listen here. Y'all heard how many times I was willing to say Winston-Salem State tonight, Gulf State and all that. Dog, if I even try to say the school down the highway name, dog, come on, man. I'll be sick to my darn stomach, man. Man, listen. I done hated these dudes, man. I've hated these dudes. And I mean hate in the word that it's a healthy hate. I've hated these dudes. My mom, when I was about 6 years old, this had to be about 6 or 7. My mom was here. It had to be about 6 or 7 years old. There's a shirt. I got the shirt, which is crazy. On the shirt, my mom brought the shirt back. She had went to the Classic. I couldn't go. I was too young. She didn't want me to go to the Classic. The Classic game had to be at Carter Finley State. Man, my mama brought the shirt back to the house, right? I know she remembered this. She had got a big expo marker and put a big X across the whole. I'm talking about big X on the whole thing. And I'm like, Mama, why you do that? That's a good looking shirt. Why you do that? She told me from that point on, she said, this school right here, this is, like, quite honestly, I hate this school more than I hate anything in this world. And, and literally from that point forward, that's just what it was. I hated them too. I hated them. Can't stand them to this day. If I even see enough blue and yellow, I get a little sick on the stomach, man. You know what I mean? I never ate Kraft macaroni and cheese because it had too much yellow. You know what I'm saying? Certain cereals I just stayed away from. You know what I'm saying? Too much yellow, too much blue, man. My stomach gonna be hurting, man. Shout out to my Dukes, man. She the one introduced him to the hate, man.
That is amazing. Listen, man, I just couldn't even imagine, man. I can't imagine either one of your kids telling you, but man, I gotta go A&T, Dad. Listen, man, I'm going to A&T, man. I can the sickness inside.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemies, man. I wouldn't wish that on my worst. Listen, and it's not
man.
on an institutional level, man. That
Yeah, for
institution,
sure.
that institution has
Athletically,
done.
I get it.
It's all athletics, man. That institution has done some magnificent things, man. What they do in engineering, man, and agriculture, man, second to none, man. But when we start talking about those sports, man, y'all know y'all can't rock with us, man. Y'all know 1801. We run it, man. You know what I mean? But I can't stand them dudes, man. I really can't, man.